A very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And yes, here we are back with our NTA UGC NET preparation for paper 1, that is for your June 2024 cycle. And as you all know that we are doing theory as well as your MCQs in the parallel form. So today we have a session on MCQs. So these questions which we have taken, those are the questions on recent topic which include learning and development topic, which include nature of codes, for moves as well as many more. So let's start the session, and this unit is teaching aptitude. Without taking much more time, let's go ahead with the session for the day. And here comes your first question. So we have first question on the screen. The question says that what is the type of organic, just a second. Yes. So what is the type of graphic organizer or mind tools? I'm highlighting the importance concepts so that you should know what is the question based on. So what is a type of graphic organizer or mind tool which is used for knowledge organization that can help learners, that is students, to interpret, to represent, on organize the information by making a graphic cooperation with others? Now, please try to understand the question. The options given are concept mapping, hypermedia, gestural prompts, and divergent question. Now, we have to identify a organizer, which is a graphic organizer or a mind tool. Either it is called as a graphic organizer or a mind tool, which is used for knowledge organization. It means it is used basically for knowledge, for the sake of gaining the knowledge, knowing the things, getting the information. And it helps the students, that is learner, in not only to interpret but also to represent and to organize information by making a graphic uh, uh, cooperation with others. So basically this is something where learning happens, okay, by the students in the form of cooperation. So this is what the question tells, that learning is happening with the help of, learning is happening by the students with the help of cooperation. So what is that graphic organizer called as, or what is that mind tool called as? So you now they have given the options as concept mapping, hypermedia, gestural prompts, and divergent question. Now, in case if you do not know, let me explain you each and every options, and then you can come with the right answer. So when I say concept mapping, it is equivalent to mind mapping. So whatever information, whatever type of learning you have visualized, you try to map it and then try to go ahead, or you try to learn that information, or you gain knowledge. Hypermedia is nothing but an extension for hypertext, right? With the best example is World Wide Web. Gestural prompts. Now, gestural, it means you're using the gestures. So, like for example, with the help of some gestural quick reaction. So, I want to tell you that you have to sit down. But the same thing without uttering a word, with the help of a quick hand movement, which will show you that you are supposed to sit down, you're supposed to get up, you are supposed to move little behind or move little front. So I will give you such type of gestural information which will help you to quickly take the action. And divergent question, it means the questions in a very diverse form. So now which of this will help, or which of this is a type of a graphic organizer or mind tool, which is helpful for the students to interpret, to organize, and to represent the information? So yes, I think till now the students should be able to guess the answer very correctly. So this is what we talked about, concept mapping. It is also called as what? It is also called as mind mapping. So now mind mapping, concept mapping, where we see the information, basically the students who learn with visualization, they make sure that they visualize the things and they keep the concepts in the mind in any format. Now, like for example, there are many types of concept mapping. System concept mapping. There is a concept mapping with the help of cluster, with the help of system. So there are different types. Now it depends upon how do you map it. So this type of organizer or a mind tool is called as concept mapping. You map the concept, means you try to visualize, Okay, you have learned it with the visualization, but you visualize in a very structured format, right? Okay. Now, coming to question number 2. Now, see, question number 2 is very simple, but they have just, twisted the question in a very difficult format. So, let's first understand the question properly and then we can go ahead, right? Now, let's understand what is the name of the process in which the listener provides feedback to the speaker. You have to identify the process in which the listener provides feedback to the speaker about the message heard and the emotion conveyed. The message is heard, the emotions are conveyed, and lets the speaker realize how he or she is being understood and respected. So now it means that the process in which the listener provides the feedback. See, listener. So we have studied, the information, uh, the sender, okay, and listener. It is nothing but your receiver. So what the question is telling, the process in which listener, okay, he's listening, he's receiving the message, provides a feedback about the message heard to the speaker. So you can call it as a speaker also, and the emotions conveyed, and let the speaker realize how he or be or she is understood or respected. So whether it is called as active responding, whether it is called as active listening, whether it is called as centering behavior, or whether it is called as adaptive teaching. So just see, maybe you may confuse with these two options. Two may be very clear, two will be very confusing. So let me come up with something called as centric behavioring. So it is, it's like self-centric. So it's basically about self-centeredness. Adaptive teaching, it means you try to understand the listener, you try to understand the receiver, and based on those, you try to frame your strategies as a speaker or as a sender. Now, the answer is what basically is called as. It is the name, the process will be called as active responding, active listening. So when the listener provides feedback to the speaker about the message the speaker has told. So right now, okay, let's visualize this. I'm the speaker, you are the listener, right? I have passed on a message to you. Now you as a listener will provide me a feedback about exactly what you have understood for the message which I have conveyed. So what is that called as? So now obviously now I will try to understand with the help of feedback what have you clearly understood. So that process will be called as responding, active listening, centric behavior, or adaptive teaching. So if you look at the statement and the explanation which I gave, it is active listening. See, responding, no, when why responding will not, maybe some students will have marked the question as responding. You have given me a feedback, you have not responded to my message, you have given me a feedback about the message which I have conveyed, so that what exactly you have understood and you have respected. So that is nothing but it is called as active listening, not responding, not behavior, not adaptive teaching. Fine. Okay, yes. Now coming to question number 3, everyone. So we have as the following, we have list 1 and list 2, where we have organization at one column and where we have nature of the course for moves. So we have something called as CEC, we have something called as IGNU, we have something called as NIOS and NITTR. Now, as I've been telling you from day one when I have started the sessions, nowadays UGC NTA NET gives acronyms. You should know the meaning of the acronym and also what it stands for. So what does CEC? If you know what the CEC stands for, you know what does IGNU stands for, or NIO stands for, or NITTR stands for, it is very easy for you to come to the answer. But still, if in case if you're learning for the first time, in fact, in my session of Swayam, I have completed this very well. So let me tell you. So when I talk about CEC, so what does CEC stands for? It stands for Consortium for Educational Communication. What is Consortium? It is nothing but an association, right? IGNU stands for Indira Gandhi National Open University, right? Then what does NIOS? If you know, you can also put it in before I tell, you can put it in the chat box, but still. NIOS stands for National Institute of Open Schooling. And then lastly, we have something called as NITTTR. So it stands for National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research. Now you should be able to correlate it. So what comes? So when we talk about CEC, Consortium of Educational Communication, so basically it is given for whom? It is given for undergrad education. So if you see, CEC stands for undergrads, okay? IGNOU stands for distance open learning, so it is out of school students. NIO stands for the school education. NITTR stands for teacher training program. So that in that respect, your right answer stands to be option number B. So A is 2, B is 1, C is 4, and D is 3, right? So even if you see D, okay, D 4, 2 and 1. So 3 was the right answer because teachers training, you may be very clear, or consortium of education communication, you're clear. So you should check it out. Here the options are not repeating, so it's much easier to highlight the answer, right? Then comes next is a very lengthy question in the form of statement question. So let's read it one by one. You need to identify the statements are right or wrong or vice versa, right? So the statement one stands. Now see, for this, you don't have to have some factual knowledge. Your basic understanding will also help you to clear the question, to crack the question. So in a learning organization, it means in any progressive, developmental or developing institute, the learning of teachers, their professional development, and the learning of children, their education are inevitably complementary and mutually reinforcing. So, what is the meaning of this sentence? That teachers' progress, students' progress is something which is complementary to each other and it is mutually reinforcing. It means it's something in the form of reward, something in the form of positivity, or something not done in a correct way. It can come as a form of punishment, right? Statement 2 says that intrapersonal intelligence does not involve understanding the inner world of emotions and thoughts and developing the ability to control and consciously work with them. So, what does it mean? Intrapersonal communication or intelligence, it's something within. So, any education or intelligence which is within does not involves understanding of inner world of emotions or thoughts or ability. So is it right, is it wrong? So if you compare both the options, what do you feel? So statement 1, see, there is no connectivity, but you need to identify statement 1 is right, statement 2 is wrong, and all those things. So yes, looking after the statement 1 and looking after the statement 2. And as I said, they are very, very basic concepts. They are not factual statements at all. So you should definitely know these things. And these are used in our general day to day. It is not something very specifically used. So if you look at both the statements, yes, the statement 1, that learning organization and the education, it's something which is inevitable, complementary and mutually reinforcing, okay, which depends on each other. Whereas statement 2, intrapersonal intelligence, it should have the understanding of inner emotions and thoughts in order to control them. It's very important. You yourself are the power, the authority to control your thought process, your inner emotions, and accordingly work out. So, statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect, right? Coming up with the next question. Now, see, this question is also very, very basic one, but if you do not understand the terminologies, it will be very difficult for you. Which among the following constitute personal competency, that is skills, right? And like they have given the options as empathy, motivation, social skills, self-awareness, self-regulation. Now, what is empathy? This word is very regular in teaching aptitude. It is nothing but the ability to understand when you speak with others. Okay, it is ability to get understand each other. Motivation is an encouragement. Social skills is about your social activeness. Self awareness is about your self understanding. Self regulation is your self discipline. So, if you want to have personal competency skills, what among them will be required? Empathy, motivation, social skills, self awareness, or self regulation. It is a skill. right? So what among them will be required? So if you look at the question and if you look at the given options, what do you feel? Which question or which statements, is considered as to be right? So going with the exact meaning or talking with the exact meaning. So something which is, which is really right, it's basically your option number C. So it is something in the form of emotions. It is something in the form of, it is something in the form of your motivation, something in the form of your self awareness and your self regulation. Now, let's see. Empathy, that is your ability to understand, it is not required as, as a personal competence right now as in student. And social skills, it is not, see, unless and until you are not confident, the first step is about your awareness, your regulation, and your encouragement. Empathy and social skills will come at a very matured level, but they didn't mention that. Okay, just personal. It means it is related to you. So at that time, as a single individual, it can be a teacher, it can be as a student, it can be any single individual. If you want to have that personal skills competency, it should be you first. So motivation, your awareness, and self regulation are the one which will help you to develop these skills, right? Okay, so as I said that we are practicing, and yes, I have this last week onwards I took five questions, but from next class onwards I'll just increase the number of questions. So be ready. Time is less. Time clock is ticking too faster, and for the June examination we have to be faster and keep going on, right? So yes, that's all we have for the day. Any student who would like to join Global Online, you can please download our app through Google Play Store. Register yourself with a registered mobile number. Select the course one, where you will be getting all the content in the form of video classes. You will be getting content in the form of, theory lectures, weekly test, and all this is available for your June preparation. WhatsApp numbers are given detail. You can get in touch with us, and any doubt, anything, you can just ping us. And that's all we have for the day. Thank you, everyone, and see you in the next class.